it's Sandy again, and I am introducing Michael, my husband, and he is going to give his informative speech.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Michael Persley, and I'd like to ask you a question. Have you ever been hungry? I don't mean I think I need a snack to get me through the afternoon till dinner. I'm asking, have you ever been so hungry that you go to bed hungry, and when you awake, you don't know if you're going to eat today or anytime soon? Hunger is a real and relevant issue. According to the 2014 Global Hunger Index, published by the Food and Agricultural Organization of the United Nations, 805 million people go hungry in the world. The U.S. Department of Agriculture states that 16.2 million children in the United States go hungry every day, and that of the 20 million children who receive free or low-cost lunches, less than one-half of them receive breakfast at home. I've never felt that kind of hunger, ever. I doubt that any of you have either. Sure, I've skipped the meal. You probably have too. I've even done several 10 days fasts, but I've always had food available to me. There are those in the world, and in our own neighborhoods, where that simply is not true. The impact of this was realized by me on two occasions. The first was when I began to volunteer at our local food pantry, and the second was on a mission trip to Mexico. Both made a huge impact on my belief about hunger. I had no idea that in my own backyard, people, to include children, were going hungry every day. I witnessed the hunger by the weekly parade of families coming to the food pantry, talking to them, and trying to understand how this could be happening. In Mexico, I witnessed small children begging on the street corners in the middle of the night. They would sell pencils or anything they could get their hands on to make some money for food. These same children would show up every week at the home of the local missionary for Bible lessons, and of course food. It's important that we all try to grasp the reality in the world of hunger so that we can stomp it out. If you'll allow me, I'd like to share with you the reality of hunger in our midst, the impact they have on us, and what can be done to help them. It is the responsibility of those that have to give to those who have not. Hunger is an everyday, everywhere, for every person issue. Taking the time to reflect on the issue of hunger in the world or in your own neighborhood will help you take action in your community. So here's some facts. 13% of the world's population is hungry. The world produces enough food to feed 7 billion children. The direct medical cost of hunger and malnutrition is estimated at $30 billion annually. Poverty is the principal cause of hunger. In 2010, an estimated 7.6 million children died. That's more than 20,000 a day died from hunger. Nearly 98% of the worldwide hunger exists in underdeveloped countries. Almost 1 in every 15 children in developing countries dies from hunger. 553 million hungry people live in Asia or the South Pacific. More than 20% of children in Asia and Africa are all underweight for their age. Every year, 17 million babies are born undernourished. 315,000 women die annually from childbirth due to being undernourished. And that comes from the DoSomething.org website published earlier this year. The numbers are overwhelming, aren't they? But there is some good news, however. According to the International Food Policy Research Institute, in some of the most affected countries of the Global Hunger Index, or GHI, has seen a reduction. Countries such as Angola, Bangladesh, Cambodia, and others have reduced their GHI by 50%. This is certainly encouraging, but the reality is that there's still way too many hungry people. There's even what is called hidden hunger. Hidden hunger exists even when it appears that a person or people are well fed. The issue is that the food is being consumed does not supply an adequate supply of daily required vitamins and minerals. So a person may look well fed, even obese, yet still be undernourished. People who are undernourished cannot properly function in the world and thus become a burden on the rest of society. The shortage in essential vitamins and minerals can have a long-term, irreversible health effects that can erode a person's well-being and development. So now what? We've just been inundated with facts and figures about hunger, its reality and its consequences. Is there anything we can do? Is anyone doing anything about this? If so, who and how do we get involved? As I mentioned earlier, there's enough food produced in the world to feed 7 billion people. According to the United States Department of Agriculture, in the United States, 31%, or 133 billion pounds of the 430 billion pounds of food available went uneaten. The value of the food loss in 2010 was estimated over $160 billion. The calorie loss to Americans was estimated at 387 billion calories. More overwhelming numbers, but there is good news in all of this, and you can be a part of this good news. 11 facts about world hunger were listed earlier. By going to the website dosomething.org, you, the audience, have an opportunity to help people who are hungry. There are ample opportunities to help in your community, and dosomething.org can help you with ideas. Secondly, the Society of St. Andrew helps feed people on a more national level by gleaning in farmers' fields. In the Old Testament, the farmers were instructed to leave some of their crop for the poor and the widows to glean in order for them to have food. In the book of Ruth, Ruth goes to the field of Boaz, her mother-in-law's relative, and gleans every day. This is what the volunteers of the Society of St. Andrew do today in the United States. As of this writing, 127 trillion pounds of food has been wasted in the U.S. this year alone. The good news is that in 2013, 37,000 volunteers gleaned 23 million pounds of produce from farmers' fields in the U.S. You can see for yourself the food that is wasted by going to their website. On the left side of the home page is a running total is being kept of the food that is being wasted this year and how much has been wasted since you went to their page. The numbers are staggering, but also on that page you will see a hopeful number. Since January of this year, 76 million servings of nutritious food has been supplied to hungry Americans, all provided by generous farmers and dedicated volunteers. In the parable of the sheep and the goats, Jesus explains to the disciples when they wondered how they have served God. He says, "The king will reply, I tell you the truth. Whatever you have done for one of the least of these my brothers, you did for me." And that's in Matthew 25:40. By serving others, we are all serving God. So the question still stands. Have you ever been hungry? Has the question of not knowing where or when your next meal might come from ever crossed your mind? For 805 million people, it does every day. Do you feel comfortable in the knowledge that children are dying every day because they have no food, yet millions of pounds of food are wasted on a daily basis? When you look at the food in your pantry or refrigerator, do you have trouble deciding what to eat? 805 million people don't have that trouble. While you were listening to this speech, thousands of people have died due to hunger. Is that unsettling? It should be. We should all feel uneasy in the knowledge that we have more than we will ever need, yet millions have not enough to continue to live. It's time. It's past time for all of us to do something. Hunger doesn't just happen around the holidays. It happens every day, all day. Let's do something about hunger right now. Thank you.